Hi fellow editors, it's me again, Zombie00, making another video. I've made a couple already for editing tutorials and kind of realized that I'm terrible at making videos, so I'm going to keep on making them until I can get it right. But I'm doing another picture, relining for a character named Tensai. This is the leader of the Shoku, you know. So we're gonna be working on an edit for him. I was actually informed that I don't explain what I'm doing very well. Like, I didn't even explain what program I'm using, and so I'm gonna do that while I edit his picture, because he's the one that made a comment about it. But I use Photoshop CS5. Don't ask me how I got it. I got it for free. My friend who taught me how to reline literally zipped file her Photoshop and sent it to me through Skype. So I can't tell you what sites I got it. I know I'm actually known to have viruses infect my computer because of Photoshop. CS3, extend. Stay away from it. It's amazing, but that is what gave me all my Trojans back in the day. But, so, I use Photoshop CS5. Here it's open. I'm going to explain more of the tools that I use and my definition of the tools and what I'm doing, because I've had people ask me, what's the difference between a layer and a path, and they're similar but they're the same, so it gets complicated. So that's what I'm going to do, like I stated in this video. I opened up my Photoshop and I'm going to go to File, Open, and I'm going to select the two pictures I'm going to have needed to look at my reference, so I know how Tensai looks. I didn't want that. I'm gonna crop it because it's easier to look at. The pictures that I'm going to reline today. So there you go. Let's begin. It says background. You can either go to layer, new layer, press OK, or use this little navigation. This one literally says this is your new layer. You click it and layer 1 shows up. After that, we go to your coloration boxes. Change it. There's a little arrow. You can switch the two. Switch it to white. Normally, how your Photoshop has it is that you have this little tool called gradient tool. You can click your G key to select it. If you right click it, it'll bring up two options, your gradient tool and then a tool called paint bucket tool. I use that a lot. It makes coloring layers so much simple. Just a simple click and the whole layer was colored with the color that I have, which I did white. That is your first step. After you do that, change the opacity on the layer. It says opacity 100%. Change it to, between 40 to 50. I do 40 or 50, normally 50. After that, I make a new layer. After that, you change your colors back, black to white. You want your black on top because the relining process, we want to use black. After that, I go to the brush. You need to pick the hard edge. There's multiple kinds of brushes. You can make your own, get them from sites to have pre-made brushes, but for relining you only use one. The first one's called soft round, your second one's called hard round. I call it hard edge, but you select that one, and then at the top it says size. Make sure it says 1px, that's 1 pixel. After that, on layer 2, go to your path section. It should be in the same section as your layers. You click it. There's a little navigation down here again. You click new path. It'll say path 1. This is we're going to be using paths and a tool called the pen tool. It's right next to your text tool, right there. No need to change the effects up here. I honestly, gonna be blunt with you, I don't know how to use it. Most of the tools on Photoshop and all the special effects, I honestly don't know how to use. I know the simple basic things and boom. That's all I know. But back to the process. So make sure that you're on a new layer, not the white one that makes it faded. This layer, I forgot to explain why. This is to allow you to see the lines that you're going to draw, and then also see the figure, what you're basing it off of. So now go back to layer 2. You can rename them. I like to do that. I'm going to name it figure because I'm going to be working on the physical body structure of it. So go back to path 1. Make sure the brush was the last tool I selected before I picked the pen tool. Select Z to zoom in. Push B for brush and then P for pen again. And start tracing. Don't worry about special details right away. All we want is the basic figure. And what you do with the pen tool is you make little lines and little points and you trace the figure. I know a few people who use the pen tool and they're able to curve it, and I've had a lot of people that don't know how to do that ask me how I do it. I don't know that tool or how to do it or use the pen tool that well. I originally started reconstructing images. I will do another tutorial for that because that is what I'm really known for, is actually manipulating the image and reconstructing the body, the hair to my character instead of relining it. This is another way to do the same thing to get the same results. So I've practiced on GIMP in 2.6. I don't know 2.8 and Photoshop how to do that. So I know how to make the lines curve depending on where to click on the line or the figure. See, I'm able to reline it or curve it along with the figure. Relining takes a long time if you're not used to it. Once you get the hang of it, it is a very quick process. I don't reline a lot, to be completely honest with you all. It's something that I have to be in the mood for because, like I stated before, I'm a perfectionist, and so I get real anal. I mean, overall, all my edits take about 2 to 4 hours depending on what I'm doing. But relining takes the longest because you have to realign the image, color it, find a background that goes with it. Sometimes I get lazy and I don't do a background at all. But I know some people like backgrounds, fancy like manga scan ones. The friend who taught me how to reline, she uses anime or pre-animated screenshots for her background. I've tried doing that and my reline images don't look the greatest like that. But so you've been seeing me create all of this. I did it in multiple steps. I do one layer or one path for one line, one section. I know you can do multiple on one path, but for me sometimes I mess up, so I like to do the undo history section and redo it. I'm getting very, very loved. I'm actually going to be calling Tensai soon, because he said he'll join me in this lovely video. Damn, I'm already at 10 minutes. I might have to make a new video. I'll probably call him while I'm coloring. This coloring doesn't take me that long. But anywho, I get sidetracked very easily. That's going to happen a lot in my videos. Don't stress. Don't stress. I'll make multiple videos with multiple explanations, explaining it differently so it can address different learners. You know, we have visual and verbal learners out there. I'm actually a visual, so me talking and explaining does not work. But I've been told that my previous videos were actually pretty decent, and I sounded natural. So with that, my confidence was boosted up. Oh yes, stroke the eagle. Stroke it. That's what I just did when I do the lines. That's actually considered a stroke. These lines that I make, they're called strokes. Ironic. I know. But it's a very tedious process. I'm not going to lie to you about this. It was very intimidating as well when I first watched my friend do it, but after a while, you'll be a pro. But what I'm doing right now is I duplicated the first layer with the white, and I'm changing the opacity to 100 to see how my lines are looking. And they're not looking the greatest right now, but hopefully when I add on all the details, it'll look a whole lot better. Hopefully. If not, I'll work my magic to make it work. They're all eyeing me on Skype. Those are the basic tools. Like I said, let's do a recap of what I went over, because I'm going to end this video a bit sooner than normal. So, we opened up the image that we want to use as a base by going to File, Open, selecting your file from wherever it's located at. Or Control O at the same time will do the same. We made a new layer. Use the bucket tool. Where the bucket tool is located at, the gradient tool, select it, click right, and then select the paint bucket tool. Click, fill the whole layer. Oh, that made it black. Fill it with white. Change the opacity from 100 to 50. Create a new layer. Either rename it or not. Change your colors from white to black. Select your brush. Change the size to 1 pixel. Make sure it's on the hard round. Zoom in. You can select the Z key. I do that a lot. Then zoom in. Select brush again just to make sure. Then the pen tool. You can either select the P key or click it itself. Go to your path section, which is located in the same box as your layers, and there's another section called channels, but I deleted or I removed mine. But select path. Create a new path and start tracing the figure. Either you can continue on lining all the lines on one path, or you can do multiple by doing one line and then creating a new path to do another section. But that concludes our basic tutorial today. Thanks for watching, and I will do a quick speed for the relining of the remaining picture for Tensai. But thanks for watching. Zombie00 out!